Hi everyone, I'm going to take you on a brief tour of the parent portal so that you'll have an idea of what parents will see when they log in. I do not know the date this will actually be deployed to parents. I've been told that it will be sometime probably after the end of the second 6 weeks. So I just want you to have an idea of what parents will be seeing. Right now there's not a lot of information for them to see other than attendance in the elementary parent portal. They will log in from home with this address, powerschool.salem.k12.va.us, and they'll see the screen that you are presently looking at. They will be given a login name and a password for logging in, and we have been given permission to use a South Salem fourth grader for an example. So when the parent logs in and presses the enter key, this is the screen that will come up. It defaults to the grades and attendance screen, and you'll see that there are no grades. That's because we don't have any grades entered at the present time for elementary students. When we start using online report cards and the grades are actually published into PowerSchool, there will be grades showing up in this area of the screen. If a parent clicks on the teacher name, they will simply get a mail to link, and that's so they can use Outlook or Outlook Express to send the teacher an email. You'll notice that there are courses here for elementary students, and obviously our students don't have schedules as such, but these had to be set up like this in preparation for online report cards so that all of these students, all of these teachers rather, will be able to enter grades for the various subjects for which they are responsible. And I can already look at this and tell that some changes need to be made for teachers who for classes that are being departmentalized. So obviously everything's not quite up to date at the present time. If you look at the absences column, you can click on the absences. This child has 2 absences. If you click on, I clicked on the 2, and it brings up the dates that they were actually absent right here. So I'm going to go back, and you could do the same thing for tardies if there were any tardies. And at the bottom you have the attendance totals. So that's the grades and attendance portion of the parent portal. Grades history, if I click on that, right now there's nothing there. And honestly, I'm not real sure what will show up there for elementary students, if anything. The last time I looked for a secondary student, nothing showed up, but I think that's one of the things that needs to be tweaked. Attendance history brings up this screen that you're looking at, and you can actually look and see on what date the child was absent. And this is set up, so you see all the classes here. This is set up with more secondary in mind so that you could see if a child missed 2 or 3 classes in the middle of the day. Ours will probably only show up during homeroom here. Email notification, parents can go in and set when they want to be notified of different events. They can set if they want to be emailed a summary of current grades, detailed reports showing assignment scores for each class, detailed report of attendance, school announcements. They can determine how often they want those email alerts sent to them, and then obviously they need to send in their email address. Teacher comments. I am not sure where these comments come from. Um, So if I were you, I wouldn't worry about this too much at the present time until we are told where these comments would be entered. I am guessing that we won't be using that in the elementary, but I'm not absolutely sure. School bulletin. If we wanted to deploy event information through the school, this is where the parents would see this information. Right now, obviously, there's nothing there because that part of PowerSchool is not being used at the present time. But at some point, if we wanted to make information available to the parents through PowerSchool, this is where we would do it. And then if parents had their email notifications sent to receive emails for school bulletins, they would get information when this is updated. Class registration is not something that applies to elementary students at all. And I'm thinking that at some point this may actually not even be an option on the PowerSchool Parent Portal, but just know that that button is there at the present time and it doesn't apply to us. My calendars. If a teacher wanted to go in and set up a calendar in PowerSchool that had assignments or test dates or something of that nature in it, then this is where a parent could subscribe to that particular teacher's calendar and could also subscribe to class assignments with scores. That's probably, once again, only going to apply to people that are using the gradebook. But the class assignments part, not sure at this point where that calendar is actually housed in PowerSchool. So once again, it's probably not something we will be using immediately. A lot of this is a work in progress, particularly for the elementaries. So we're not sure how much will actually be used down the road. But the whole point is we wanted you to see what the parents will see when they log into PowerSchool Parent Portal. So once again, this is the screen that defaults. This is where it comes up at the beginning. And basically the information that's there now for parents will be attendance information. And then obviously they would want to log out. There's also a help button there if they would need help, and then log out.